Coming up in this week's episode.
This week, our adventures take us through the rugged western wilds of Tasmania on an epic road trip from Hobart to Strahan.
Including a masterpiece of artwork found deep within the wilderness, Tasmania's oldest penal colony, breathtaking World Heritage forests, the spectacular Gordon River, the West Coast Wilderness Railway, Tasmania's tallest waterfall, great short walks, mountain drives. We laugh our way through Australia's longest running play and some fantastic free and low-cost off-grid campsites.
Grab yourself a drink. Here we go.
Welcome to Tasmania!
Yes, for the next 10 weeks, we will be sharing the ultimate road trip series designed to help you choose your own adventure when you visit this spectacular state.
To say this place is special would be an understatement. Now, Tassie boasts the cleanest air in the world, Australia's tallest sea cliffs, unique native wildlife, world-class experiences, incredibly talented people, outstanding food and beverage, fascinating history.
And it is abundant with epic scenery, perfectly presented for touring no matter what vehicle you're in.
Every itinerary we have created has been designed to explore and discover a drive journey across a 7-day time frame, with the flexibility to take more or less time, string a few trips together, or complete them all. It's up to you. And to get your planning started, and as a gift from us, you can download our free road trip itinerary quick guides from our website that accompany each journey. Alternatively, if you want the full experience, you can purchase our comprehensive ebooks that share the finer details of where to stay, what to do, what to pack, and so much more.
Plus, as an added bonus, if you purchase any one of our ebook road trip itineraries, we will gift you our free audio book, The Taste of Tassie, the complete guide to eating and drinking your way around the Apple Isle. How good is that?
Tasmania, it is all this and so much more.
Let's do it. Good morning, Tassie. The adventure begins. We've got an awesome day ahead of us. Where are we headed, Jasperini?
Derwent Bridge.
Yes.
On our way to Strahan, but going to stop overnight in Derwent Bridge, which is probably about halfway.
Yeah, look, it is 170 kilometres from Hobart. Now, that's actually going to take us close to 3 hours. Of course, the dramatic landscape of Tasmania means that the road is quite windy, but it is spectacular. The pub that we're staying at, we've stayed at before and we loved.
Yes, awesome overnight stop.
Yeah, really set in that true Tassie wilderness.
Yeah, and we're going to do something really unique this time too, and check out an attraction that is a must-see when you come to Tassie.
It basically sums up what a passionate person can create. It is truly spectacular and, as you said, a must visit. All right, we're ready to go? Hit the road?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
Bye.
Derwent Bridge Wilderness Hotel. We overnighted here. What a great place to stay.
It is an excellent overnighter. Best of all, it is a free camp and you can roll in with your rig of any size and park up here in the front car park.
It was so quiet. There were only a couple of other vans last night. When we came here the last visit, it was packed. We had to squeeze our way in between other vans. So,
Yeah.
look, it isn't very busy at the moment, but once we walked inside to that restaurant, it is stunning. It's as though you've entered into an alpine ski lodge with its huge ceilings with the wooden beams and the floor-to-ceiling windows that bring the wilderness inside, and the meals are huge.
Yes, and the bar is fantastic. It was really quite busy in at the restaurant last night. They do have accommodation here on site as well, and just down the road there are some other accommodation options, B&Bs, little chalets. So it was nice to see so many people inside enjoying a meal, one of their famous Sri Lankan curries.
They also serve very good Tasmanian wines.
Yeah, they do.
And Jasper can vouch for the ice cream with the chocolate topping.
Yep. Look, I think it would be amazing to come here in the middle of a winter. We have seen images on the walls with snow everywhere,
Stunning.
to have that huge fireplace roaring.
Across the road is some really wonderful interpretive boards that talk about the whole region here, the Central Highlands and even further afield. It's 5 kilometres to St Clair National Park. You can use the dump point across the road. There are bathroom facilities and there's also a charging station if you've got one of those electrical vehicles.
Yeah, how awesome. And just a couple of k's down the road is where we are headed now, down to the wall. We are so excited about this.
We're hoping that we'll get to meet the artist Greg Duncan. It does look incredibly impressive. Here we go, the wall.
Let's get out of the rain.
Yes.
Welcome to the wall. My name's Greg Duncan, a sculptor of the wall. Have been working on it for a few years now. We could almost say a decade.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Paul. It's my pleasure.
Can you take us back to your growing up years? I mean, you had to have found this skill or learnt this skill at some point. Can you tell us about those early days?
I always liked drawing from a little kid right through. I came up in a family with another 2 brothers and a sister. They could all draw, and it was not a case of learning it, it was just being lucky enough, I suppose, to have that skill. It's a bit like some people have rhythm. Well, I don't, but they have a natural rhythm and other people learn it. So in my case, it was just one of those things where we just did it as kids, and most of the time we had a pad and a pencil in our hands, and and it was never even sort of thought much about. Mum could always draw, although she had 4 kids and never really had much time to do it. My older brother was probably the one that was preened to be the artist. The rest of us came in later on. We all went and did trades and things like that. But no, it just came down to the fact that I wasn't happy in what I was doing previously, and had a talk with my older brother, and he said, "Well, look, Greg, what do you do best?" And he said, "What do you like doing?" And I said, "I like art." And he said, "Well, that's where you need to go." And I was glad to have got that advice, because that's what led to where I am now.
Is there a sibling rivalry or competitiveness in your work at all?
There probably is between the other 3, but not from me.
Is that because you see yourself as the number one?
No, I'm not number one, but it's just blame them every time. No, we all respect one another and what we do. Sometimes when we all get together, it's probably a little bit hectic, because we're pretty strong in our opinions about certain things, not just art, in many things. So Yeah.
Look, I would love to be in your family's presence during a game of Pictionary.
Total chaos.
I bet it is.
No, when I first opened, the building was only a third of the size.
Okay.
And there were 9 panels.
Wow.
And I remember one of the very first customers that came in, drove away and came back and asked for his money back. And I thought, oh, geez, this is going to be the way it's going to be, is it? But never have ever since ever had anyone ask for a refund or whatever.
No.
It's the opposite.
You mentioned that you had a trade. Tell us about that transition. What age were you when you went, okay, hang on, I'm going to down tools here and pick up some other tools?
Yeah, well, that was a bit of a funny one because I wasn't until I was 26 or 27. Mm-hmm. We had a young family, and I went off to work, and I came home and said to my wife that I've thrown my job. And she said, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to be a sculptor. I had never picked up a chisel in my life.
Wow.
So it was pretty touch and go there for a while.
The marriage...
in a lot of ways. But fortunately, my wife's still with me.
Great.
And I think it's coming up to about 47 years or something like that. So, no, she's been so supportive. It's been fantastic. But, you know, there is a time where if you're wishing your life away and you're not enjoying it, you've got to make some major decisions because you're no good to yourself and no good to anybody else. So this was the best decision I decided, to head in the arts.
You mentioned that there were then years creating this, almost a decade. That's a long time without a paycheck. How did you cope?
Well, originally, I've been sculpting for about 40 years now. Mm-hmm. I was pretty successful as a sculptor. I didn't have to fall back on my trade. Having said that, there was a lot of Vegemite sandwiches there for the first few years, and my wife used to work to back me up. But by the time I decided to do this, I had a house to sell and all the rest of it to fund this, and I was able then to build this with the funds I had, and then leave it to fate to see how it went. The first year we just scraped through winter, and then after that we never looked back. We did start off with a builder who went broke in the very first couple of months, and it was pretty hectic at the time, and so it was left to me and my son and his wife and my wife to virtually do the rest. And I can remember nights down here with my wife and myself on our knees, putting floorboards down and the whole lot. But it's a journey. It's when you look back and you look at that journey, it's very hard at the time, but you feel so satisfied when you actually look back and see what you have achieved.
The future then is kicking back in retirement, or being a creative, you can't help yourself. What's next?
Yeah, I do like that creative process, and I'll find something, whether it's in painting or another form of sculpture. But yeah, I'll always be doing something like that. I'm not the type to retire. I sit down for 5 minutes and I get fidgety. So yeah, life's too short. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I think you're an inspiration for so many people, and it wouldn't matter whether you're an artist or anything that you're trying to look at in your life. I think your story would be an inspiration for everyone.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
No, thank you for your time today, mate.
It's been a pleasure.
What an incredible talent Greg Duncan is, and he was so generous with his time with us. We just absolutely loved everything about that experience. Okay, we're continuing our Western Wilds road trip from Derwent Bridge to Strahan on the coast. It's 127 kilometres. However, we've stopped 86 kilometres into that journey here in Queenstown, and we would absolutely recommend that you spend at least one night soaking up the charm of this once bustling mining town. Now, without a doubt, the #1 experience you can do here in Queenstown is the West Coast Wilderness Railway. We would recommend, if you are visiting Queenstown, to book ahead. They are fully booked out this time around. However, we were lucky enough to join them on a train journey during our last visit to Tasmania in 2020, and we're going to share that with you now because we believe this is one of the most incredible train journeys you can do anywhere in Australia. So enjoy, and we'll see you over in Strahan.
Standing underneath the lights, look into each other's eyes. Tired snowflakes are coming down, collapse into water when they hit the ground. I hear the sound of empty streets, and yesterday has gone to sleep. All that's left is you and me. I can promise you're the only thing I see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in a dream. Voices in the night, time is running out of sight. A lonely wind is passing by, tries to carry all the whispers that it finds. The walls are listening when we talk, making echoes as we walk. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made-up place that only we can see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in a dream. Standing underneath the lights, look into each other's eyes. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made-up place that only we can see.
Hi everyone.
Yes, the West Coast Wilderness Railway. We've done the Rack and Gorge tour. It's a half-day tour leading from Queenstown. Talk about picking a perfect weather day. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
It's been absolutely beautiful coming through the rainforest alongside the stunning King River. So much to see. The train itself is magnificent. It is a brilliant experience.
We have been a little bit VIP'd. We've enjoyed the carriage with some morning tea, a glass of bubbles to start with. We're about to hop on and have lunch. Are you ready to eat?
Yeah.
Yes, I
I
think
took
so.
one bite of it.
Yes, Jess was
fully did it.
already started on the bread roll, I think. Anyway, time to get back on.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear your best toot. Okay, here we are, Zeehan. And we've pulled into the United fuel station. It is $1.72.9 per litre for diesel. Young Jasper, not feeling so good. He's got the sick bag there. The roads are incredibly windy, and I think with that constant leafs, the 600 kilo leafs on the back of the truck and no van in tow is, you know, we're moving a little bit quicker and it's just so windy. He's just feeling terrible. But anyway, back to the fuel station. So we've been to pump number 1, we've been to pump number 4. It's an unmanned United fuel station. They pre-authorise your card for $100. We've had that experience before. But it looks as though they're actually out of diesel. So not ideal. So a couple of $100 later off our cards, and 17 cents worth of diesel I actually got out of that pump, Katie.
17 cents.
17 cents. So that's not going to get us too far.
You're kidding me.
No, anyway, Katie's pulled me around to this pump number 3, and I've been able to get $40 out of that. So there we go. $240 worth of fuel.
40 bucks in the tank. Awesome. And no receipt, because the machine couldn't even do that.
No, that's right. But Kate spoke to someone from United. They're going to send a technician out.
No, they got technicians on the way, he said. He knew exactly. As soon as I said I'm at Zeehan, he said, oh, we've got problems with that site. So
maybe we should go put a, you know,
out of order.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go. We've got enough fuel to get home. That's the main thing. We're off now. Let's go check out Montezuma Falls. How you feeling back there, Jappa?
Good.
Okay. Yeah, it's not real fair, so just wake up and I put a camera in your face.
Love you, mate.
Walking stick?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's actually just a nature stick that I picked up,
Oh, a nature stick. Right.
and now I'm using it.
One of Tassie's 60 great short walks. Wow.
Hi guys, we are here at Montezuma Falls, and we are gonna hike along a tram track. Let's go check it out, hey?
How epic is this falls? It's Montezuma's, named after the original mining company that was mining in this area, and this walk is one of the 60 easy top walks that you can do in Tassie.
Yes, and it is so worth doing. It is Tassie's highest waterfall at 104 metres, and it is just breathtaking. And the walk follows the old tram line, which our little train enthusiast absolutely loved. And you can see the old sleepers.
Look, I think he loved it on the way here.
Yes, we're yet to get back.
Yeah, it's a 5 kilometre trek back. The first 3 kilometres from the car park are completely downhill, and then the last 2.2 kilometres are slightly uphill. So what goes up must come down. I think the last 3 kilometres are going to hurt, probably us, because we'll probably be carrying Jasper.
It is graded as a grade 2, so still a very easy walk, and it is predominantly flat. There are some old train sleepers and some tree roots. There are also a lot of fallen trees to navigate as well, but it is very easy. It's probably just the length that will get you in the end.
Yes, there's also a really cool cave right towards the end of the walk that you can walk into, and you can see where they were actually mining. The Montezuma's mining company were mining silver, gold, tin,
Lead.
Yes, I think that was about it. Quite awesome to see what they've left behind. And then one of the highlights as well was the suspension bridge, which isn't always open, we're told. So we're very fortunate to find it on a day when it was open. A little bit of a heart racer, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit of a wobbly walk, but a must do, especially with little adventurous people as well.
Wow. Let's go. Come on, Jasper.
About 15 minutes every kilometre, so we probably need to get a move on.
Yeah, I think leaving much earlier in the day, mid-morning, or if it's hot, then leave early. But in this temperate rainforest, it is truly a stunning walk. The scenery is beautiful the whole way, and grade 2, it is fairly easy. So,
yeah, one for your must-do list when you are in this beautiful western wilds of Tasmania.
We did it!
Hey,
Jasper!
get here. High five. You're high five. You're amazing.
How far did we do?
10.56 kilometres.
So here's how far we went.
Whoa.
Just shy of 3 hours.
Okay.
That's how far we went. And then?
There you go. I don't know if short walk is the right term.
Here we go.
Wild and windy in the western wilds today here at Strahan, and we've actually pulled up for the last few nights here at the Strahan golf course, and this is a fantastic option, particularly during this high season when most of the van parks in town are fully booked. So it's only $10 a night. You can pay on arrival. You do have to be fully self-contained, but there are facilities like a dump point, and it's still very close to town.
Yeah, absolutely, and there is so much space, so it wouldn't matter what shape or size your rig is, you could easily come and pull up here with the beautiful outlook of the golf course behind us, and in front is a large sports playing field, so there's lots of green open spaces.
What has blown us away is the variance in the weather. Yesterday was a picture perfect day, which meant that we did get out and about, and getting into Strahan town and then to Strahan village. It really is a picturesque seaside village.
Oh, it's so beautiful, and there is so much to do here. So you really do need to give yourself at least a few days to explore. And something that we loved after doing our big 10K trek through Montezuma Falls was to do the much shorter Hobart Falls walk, which is about 2K's return. Again, it's graded as a level 2, very easy, very scenic through beautiful forest, leaving from People's Park, which is right in town at Strahan. And what a beautiful little park area that is as well.
It sure is, and it is perfect for families or just a short walk in nature. This is absolutely perfect because it really takes in that fantastic Tasmanian wilderness that you'd expect out here in the Western Wilds.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can tick off another one of those 60 great short walks here in Tassie.
Yes, now just around the corner is a location for the second train station that does operate the West Coast Wilderness Railway. If you can't take in the train ride from Queenstown, then this is your other option.
Fantastic. And Strahan town itself is full of some really great pubs and cafes. The main street is so picturesque looking over the harbour. And if you're not travelling in your RV, there is a huge amount of other accommodation available, with Strahan Village offering everything from hotel style rooms through to cottages and cabins. And of course they have their famous 42 degrees restaurant that looks out over Macquarie Harbour.
Perfect. Okay, finally, we would recommend that you take in what is Australia's longest running play, The Ship That Never Was. Gee, this was a fun night. It was so engaging for every member of the audience. In fact, you could say that every member of the audience became an active participant in this pantomime about an incredible story of abscondment by a half a dozen convicts from Sarah Island.
Up, down, this way, we're all going down. Up, that way, this way, down. Up, this way, jellyfish working, cat scratching.
It was really fantastic and runs every day at 5:30 p.m. in this awesome open air theatre where they literally build the stage and the set around you as the play takes place. Jasper loved it. We loved it. In fact, the whole audience loved it. So it is a must-do for when you are in Strahan. We were lucky enough to go on their 28th year anniversary. So trust us when we say they have got this down pat. It is definitely worth seeing.
And the amphitheatre is open air and just makes it so intimate to be able to sit in the audience. It is aptly named the Richard Davey Amphitheatre after the playwright who famously has written this show for everyone to enjoy all these years later. All right, the number one highlight, however, would have to be the Gordon River Cruise. This would be our number one choice to experience this World Heritage region of Tasmania. multi-award winning Gordon River cruises really should be at the very top of your list when you're coming to explore this epicness of the Western Wilds. This pristine World Heritage listed area really captures everything that you would imagine Tasmania to be about.
Oh, it is so stunning. And we are visiting in summer, so we're lucky enough to get aboard the seasonal evening cruise to really make the most of that gorgeous afternoon sunshine and take in a spectacular sunset over the Gordon River. However, they do operate daily morning cruises as well.
What we really loved was that this experience starts as soon as you enter the cruise terminal of the Gordon River Cruises. The friendly team ready to meet and greet you, and they have an awesome range of Tasmanian and locally produced products and gifts. It's a great way to grab something as a memento of your time in this region.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's all aboard the luxurious vessel, the Spirit of the Wild, for your 6-hour journey. And there are 3 seating options available aboard the vessel on the main and premium upper decks, plus an open air top deck that gives you epic 360-degree views of this spectacular wilderness.
Now, we do have to give a very special mention to Sam. He was our onboard host. This guy was not only entertaining, engaging, informative, he was incredibly knowledgeable across the entire cruise. And this was complemented by a perfectly timed audio-visual presentation, characterised through actors telling the stories of not only the Aboriginal culture that's lived here for over 40,000 years, but also the pre and post settlement and the history of the Huon pine that plays a major role in the storytelling of this region.
Now, there is a licensed bar on board, so you can grab yourself a glass of champagne or choose from a wide selection of Tasmanian wines or craft beers. Sit back and take in those views from the floor to ceiling windows, which were just incredible. And we also enjoyed a delicious afternoon tea and a chef-prepared buffet dinner, which was fantastic quality.
I tell you what, the ocean trout from this region and then to have it served on board was the highlight for me.
Oh, and the desserts, I think Jasper tried everyone.
He sure did. Our first highlight was Hell's Gate and the entrance to Macquarie Harbour.
And aptly named by the convicts who were transported out here from Mother England, who literally believed that they were being taken to hell on earth.
Next, we turned around and headed back through Hell's Gates and made our way toward the mouth of the Gordon River and the start of the World Heritage listed area. This is where the captain turned off the diesel engines and we just slipped into the hybrid electric motors for some quiet cruising down the Gordon River.
Whisper mode is what they call it, and it really is the point of difference for this vessel. In fact, we were encouraged to get up from our seats and head outside onto the decks to really take in the silence and immerse ourselves in the wilderness. The cruise includes 2 guided walking tours, and the first was at Heritage Landing, part of the Franklin Gordon Wild Rivers National Park. It's a fantastic short walk that is fully accessible for wheelchairs and mobility devices. It was led by our onboard guide Sam, and this is really where the story of this cool temperate rainforest and the Huon pine comes to life. The second stop is at Sarah Island, Australia's oldest penal colony, and again it is a fantastic fully guided walking tour through the ruins and relics that are left on Sarah Island.
Amazingly, we timed our cruise with the 200th anniversary of the first landing and settlement of Sarah Island. We got to witness a reenactment by some very passionate actors, historians, and a group of people who recognise the importance of keeping these stories like Sarah Island alive. Then it was back on board. We grabbed a glass of wine, sat back and took in that stunning sunset as we cruised along calmly back to Strahan.
We really loved this experience and the fact that the cruise caters for everybody. And I think the name, The Spirit of the Wild, really sums up what you are going to get on this experience. Just awesome.
Next week on Family Travel Australia.
Am I okay?
Woo! All right, we made it.
Yummy.
Wow, very good. どういたしまして。
Thanks for watching. Please do like, subscribe and share our channel. And if you'd like more information on full-time RV travel and living, visit our website, thefeelgoodfamily.com. There you'll find loads of free resources, our weekly podcast, caravan cooking recipes, our monthly Go RV magazine articles and much more. We look forward to seeing you next week. Take care of yourself and your family and happy trails. Derwent Bridge Wilderness Hotel. We overnighted here. Best of all, it is free. What a great place to stop.
Yeah, it is. You just totally took my line, man.
Okay, that's it. That's right here. Ooh, we've now got lines. Hey, tell me, what name is this guy?
Well, there's actually an eagle.
Should we call him Wedgie?
Yeah.
Hey, Wedgie.
Nice to meet ya. Elon Musk! If you can hear me, you can charge your vehicles where we are. Well, it's just in front of us. I'm sure he heard me.
There's a license bar on board, so you can grab yourself a glass of bubbles. Now there's a license bar on board, so you can get yourself a nice glass of champagne or choose from a great...
Oh, champagne, champagne. Ooh, I love champagne.
It's definitely one that we would do again when we next visit Strahan. Or a selection of Tasmanian wines and craft beers. I'm going to lose my hat, sorry.
And craft beers! Just, what do you think?
It was pretty good. The swing bridge only says danger. Only 4 people are allowed on the bridge at once.
Yeah.
There can be more people going across the bridge, but just 4 people walking over. Any other people have to stay until those people are off the bridge. Because if there's a lot of people on there, then it might get too heavy and...
Okay, good explanation.
You got Italian in your jeans, man.
Wow!
Whoa,
Oh.
Oh!
Oh.
And he's you knock me over, knock me over, I will get back up again.
Good job.
Woo! Wow, we're almost back to the car.